Thank you very much, Dr. Mullen. And we want to, on behalf of the women of the Senate, both sides of the aisle, want to thank Allegheny College and its Board of Trustees for giving this award to the women of the Senate. This college, your college, and this award is the first time the award has been given to all 20 of us. You are really making a first, so that it's not only recognizing an individual senator, often for very special efforts, but also recognizing us as a group as we try to change the tone and therefore try to change the tide of the way the United States Congress is functioning. So on behalf of them, we want to say thank you for that. We want to salute the college. All the women asked that we salute the college for establishing this award, because in today's public discourse, whether it's within the arena of politics, whether it's on cable news or whatever, the discourse is becoming intensely dissonant, discordant, and I think dysfunctional. So you're really leading the way with this award, and we want to thank you for recognizing our effort. A special hello to our colleague, Governor Ridge, someone who I've had a long-standing admiration for, both when he was governor of Pennsylvania, then as Secretary of Homeland Security. The only thing I think I ever substantively disagreed with him was that he was a Steelers fan and I was a Ravens fan. But we show that you can be disagreeable and still come together at the 50-yard line. I also want to acknowledge the role of Senator Sue Collins, who is now the most senior Republican woman. She's a close friend of mine, but more importantly, she's a dedicated public servant. She has been known for forging coalitions and compromises, and also making sure that we can continue to work across the party aisle to really be able to accomplish something. During the dark days of government shutdown this fall, when the government of the United States had come to a screeching halt because of outdated Senate rules, because of the rigidity of ideology, and it was Senator Collins, who took the floor and said we need to have a new way and a new day to break the logjam. It was Senator Sue Collins who teamed up with Senator Amy Klobuchar, who offered a three-point approach to essentially break the gridlock, to crack the deadlock. And I was on the floor because I chaired the Appropriations Committee. And we were really at a terrible standstill, and the politics were tense and ever-growingly toxic. But when Collins took the floor, with the way she presents her arguments, intellectual rigor, strong convictions, a tone that invites one to listen to, she changed the tone. And then she put together a bipartisan coalition, women and men, on both sides of the aisle, to offer alternatives. Now, on the policy issues, I didn't agree with Senator Collins, but on the issue of ending gridlock and deadlock and slam down and shutdown, I absolutely agreed with her and said, let's listen to Collins and Klobuchar. She went on the Sunday airwaves and electrified America because, my God, people were actually talking with each other. They weren't negotiating through the airwaves, and they were offering constructive alternatives. Well, it changed the tide. It did change the tone, and out of that came another compromise that then went on to where another woman of the Senate, Senator Patty Murray, was able to reach across the dome and forge the budget compromise that cracked that dilemma, and we were able to pass a budget, and then it came to the Appropriations Committee that does the discretionary spending. And guess what? Thanks to the initiative One Voice, building a coalition, doing it with intellectual rigor and civility, the rest of us supporting Change the Tone to Change the Tide, we were able to pass not only a budget, but the Appropriations Committee, and we passed it in the Senate 72-24. That's what differences we're trying to make. One voice, organizing the others on these principles. But we're no Johnny or Janie come lately. This is a tradition established by another Maine woman, Margaret Chase Smith, Eisenhower Republican, who formed a relationship with an FDR Democrat by the name of Lyndon Johnson. And out of that, when Margaret Chase Smith stood on the floor during the raging, fiery debate of McCarthyism, said, I want to issue a Declaration of Independence, and joined by then Senator Lyndon Johnson, and it ended McCarthyism and laid the groundwork for passing historic legislation in the future through the 50s and the 50s. That's how women have made a difference. And they've had predecessors like Olympia Snowe and Nancy Kassebaum and all of us. When I came to the United States Senate, there was only one other woman. It was Senator Nancy Kassebaum. We worked together. We tried to make a difference. And then in 1992, more women came, and more women have come ever since. But in the mid-1990s, in another government shutdown, when Newt Gingrich and Bill Clinton were locked in mortal combat, and the Senate and our institution was shut down, Senator Kay Bailey Hutchinson, a Republican from Texas, okay, tall, big hair, big hat, little me, and so on, said Senator Hutchinson had come to the Senate, and both of our staffs had said we should not work together. She's a Republican, they said, and could be pretty conservative. Her staff was saying, oh my God, that Mikulski, she's pretty liberal. But you know what? We came together on something called the spousal IRA, where if you were a full-time homemaker, you can put money in an IRA as if you were working in the marketplace. We ultimately passed that law. It bears the name of Senator Hutchinson. But in our work together, we decided we should get together. And out of that, we established these dinners that are now coming up on the 20th anniversary, in which we get together once a month, and we have 3 rules: no staff, no memos, and no leaks. And out of that, though, we said, why can't we as women establish a zone of civility where we come together and out of friendship? And when we go onto the floor, if we disagree, and when the day's over, let the day be over. We are not a caucus. We disagree on some issues, many issues, but we are a force, and we come together for the economics of being a woman, for the health care of being a woman. Though we often have different means, we usually have different goals. And what we said, let's follow the tone that you heard me just talk about. First of all, let's be courteous with one another. Let's come together out of mutual respect. And then let's try to change the tone and try to change the tide. I'm so proud of what the women in the Senate have done. You heard what Senator Collins has done. Senator Barbara Boxer moved an environmental bill. Senator Debbie Stabenow just moved the agricultural reform bill. We're doing it every day in every way. And we say to the young people at Allegheny College and all over America, you can make a difference. Come and think about life in public service. And just know that you can keep your principles. Yes, we do compromise, but we don't capitulate on this. So on behalf of the women of the United States Senate, I just want to say thank you. And most of all, I want to say thank you for my 19 other colleagues and all who have gone before, from Margaret Chase Smith, who set a tone, to now where we are. And I don't know what they put in that Maine water, but I'd like some in the Chesapeake Bay. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless America.